ladies and gentlemen, you want to get yourself a good stash from the fridge because they're going to come in steep and fast between now and the end of the day.
Pretty exciting stuff now as we look forward to the host Sri Lanka at the racecourse here in Colombo. They were quite disappointing last weekend. They made it to the semi-finals, and then they got absolutely lamped, 55-0 by Hong Kong. There's Andre Kokolard leading out the Korean side. The Sri Lankan, some expectation from this crowd. There wasn't good enough according to their fans. Look out for Dansha Dayan, number 3. Janidu Dilshan's their leading try scorer. Kevin Dixon at 7. And guys like Jessen and Reza, they've got real pace right across the park, but so have Korea. They got Andre Kokolard to win the board. They've got quite a few new players coming in, a much younger side. We were talking to Andre at breakfast yesterday. They have brought almost a completely new side compared to 2 weeks ago. The rest of the players preparing for the Korea Games in Korea next week, and there's Matt Rodden, our referee. So the expectation on this Korean side is perhaps not that high. There's a whole group of new players. And we saw them do this a couple of seasons ago and get absolutely thrashed by everybody. And there's Lee Kwong Hwan out there in the 5. Usually it's Lee Jai Bok wearing the 5, but he's not here today. So good chance here for Sri Lanka to get an important pool win. They've got the dancing twinkle toes, but will that be effective under these conditions? If you're just joining us, we had 45-minute suspension before this game. A huge thunderstorm came over top. Here they come then. Tackle from Kokolard. This is Janidu Dilshan. And a little error there. So wonder if they'll change their game plan, Jed. The Sri Lankans, with the players they've got under these conditions, well, just won't be so easy for their game breakers to break free.
Don't know, we're in Sri Lanka. These are Sri Lankan conditions. You'd assume that they'd have a bit of wet rugby under the belts. This would be ideal for their pacemen out wide. You see the way they run, they're so light. They drift across the grass. I don't suspect they'll be doing too much different. They might even, if anything, be even a bit more effective up front.
So they get the job done at scrum time, and let's see what they've got out the back now. Here's a first look at the arms out by Rodden. It's a real pig's dinner. Han Dong Moon there, just asking some questions. Now Kang Min Jun scurries away, gets out of one, coming back at him, Joseph Kevin Dixon. Kokolard's there, and he lobs one out to Han Dong Hoon. Here's the new man. This guy here, keep your eyes on him. He's a half Samoan, half Korean lad from Dunedin in New Zealand. Kim Yong Hwan now. This is good continuity from Korea. Here's Kim Seong-gyu, and they just march it over. Hands will do it in the end. Nothing fancy. And that's reasonably patient and consistent work there by the Koreans, Jed, across the park.
Yeah,
3 or 4 times.
Catch and pass. Nothing flash, but no mistakes. And phase after phase, pass after pass, they create more pressure. Quite a calm, cool, and collected effort, wasn't it, from Korea in the end? Passes looked up. Look at that nice ball there. Thank you. Pick and go. Yeah, making it look very simple indeed. Good phase of play from Korea, and the score quite rightly came their way.
So first blood to Sri Lanka. That'll give the crowd something to think about here. Their women's team were thrashed earlier on today. Now their chance with a bit of ball going on the tackle is Moon Jin Ho. That was Rashan Silva taking the ball to ground. They're coming at this wide and deep. This is how they usually play. They're not adapting. Kevin Dixon breaks the line. Skidding over goes Lee Kwan Huan. And look at Kokolard. He hasn't got nothing left. He's been gassed by Kevin Dixon. And that's what this dangerous little fellow will do to you. He's got the quick double step, and he's got electrifying pace off the mark, as have 3 or 4 other these Tuskers. Third try of the series for him, and he pegs one back for the Sri Lankans.
Well, he's got vision all right. The vision's straight down the tunnel with Kevin Dixon, isn't it? He gets the ball with one reason and one thought in mind, and that's to take it straight up the field as quickly as he can. Solid 2 for Sri Lanka. Here he goes. There it is. The setup on Kokolard, that was always going to happen, mismatch. Another weird left foot step, and then, well, if you can't catch them in dry conditions, you'd be dreaming in wet conditions.
Look at that. That's the conditions we're playing here. Need to get the hairdryer out on that centre spot. This is Kang Min Jun. Gets marched to the centre spot by Rodden. Kim Yong Hwan. It's Kim Seong Gu. Now their chance with a bit of possession. The average age of these players out here is 21, 22. Kokolard by far the oldest player out there. This is Han Dong-hoon. And he fires it in 5. Budima Bushna. Budima's going to go. After him is Kang Min Jun. He steps inside Kang. Kang comes back at him, gets up, makes another tackle. Min Jun Ho has come from the other side to make the tackle. Sri Lanka now on the front foot into the 22. Who's on the outside? It's 1-on-1. Kevin Dixon puts on the brakes, steps off the left. And he's too wily, and he bangs it down on the line. That's exciting stuff from both sides. It's really got this crowd on their feet. And you wouldn't really believe that it's still raining on a pitch that's covered in water. That was really exhilarating stuff.
Side-to-side action by the time they finished with it, Sri Lanka. And just watch the footwork here. All big men, they all taking a tumble. He's still going. The advantage is, well, it's the advantage with the short wheelbase, isn't it?
So that's brought the crowd alive. They'll be hoping this Sri Lankan side can make it into the top 4. Give them something to cheer about cup final time tomorrow. Now that Hong Kong ladder today, that will decide the pool pretty much. And here's the final moments there. Kevin Dixon puts on the brakes. And, well, he's got the best brakes out of the lot of them. He's got the 30 mil studs in. And again, the restart is a shocker. And, well, you can excuse them, really. Someone needs to put some sand on that centre spot. Not quicksand either. Time is up on the clock. We've had 3 tries under terrible conditions. Here's Lee Kwan Hwan. Here's Kim Rong Hwan. Just teases the defence a bit. Gets a fend in twice. Kim Seong Gu, and this is the exuberance of youth here. They just go 100 miles an hour all the time. Everybody guns blazing. Kang Min Jun off the ground to Kokolard. Oh, gets picked up by Budima. Oh, Kokolard might have got away there. Lee. Oh, that's a tragedy. It's Rashan Silva. Rips it off the ground and pops it up to Dansha, and he slides in under the posts for try number 3 to the Tuskers, second in the series. That's a tragedy there for the Koreans who are trying to break out from their own 22. Oh, that was forward anyway.
Oh, they've been outdone, Korea. The heavier bodies, they're starting to get pretty heavy legs as well. Tough going in the rain and the mud. And no goal, but 3 tries to Sri Lanka.
There is the new player, one of the many new players, Moon Jin-ho. This could be a real changing of the guard, perhaps. Be interesting to see what Korea ends up doing come qualifiers, Olympic qualifier times at the end of November. It's good to see that they're actually increasing the pool, at least. And we can't really say that the veterans have had much impact on legs 1 and 2. Guys like Jang Jongmin scored 7 tries in Korea, but did nothing in Hoijo. So it's 19-5 at half time. A real chance for some of these youngsters from the South Korean side, but they're up against a fairly experienced Tusker side on their home patch.
Yeah, opening try was made to look easy enough, wasn't it, by Korea? And I guess if they're going to play direct, that's the key, but here it is. As the Tuskers start to break into stride, led by the little man. About to call him Kevin Hart then. Kevin Dixon. This one is a beauty as well. Check out the footwork on this. Now, easy for me to stop, not so easy for you big blokes to go. Done them all the way, and then bang, that one's for me. Ball back on the outside. They're looking in pretty good shape, the Tuskers, in this one against Korea. And Korea, oh, they'll just be, I think they might be longing for a game with some hard and fast conditions. Very, very tough for big man like Andre Kolkalad, as much of a competitor as he is. And hasn't he lost a bit of weight to get himself into 7th shape? Well, they're going to have to ask themselves if they've got it inside to go for a very, very big 7. Because the Sri Lankan Tuskers, if they're given half a chance, I get a funny feeling they'll go for it.
Underway in the second half then. There's Han Dong-hoon taken just inside the Korean half. They give it a lot of width. It's impressive given the conditions. Here goes Kim Yong-kwan. Kolkalad with the quick hands. Can't quite get it away. Kim Kwan Hwan. Coming in, firing straight down to the ground was Jason Disanyaka. There's a Korean down and back play, so Kolkalad might just want to slow things down a bit here. Here he is, the dog whisperer, the friar, the running man. It seems like each series he picks up a new nickname. He's a charismatic fella. He's been on the World Series now, 2 years.
Charismatic despite trying. Or not trying, I should say.
So leaving the field is Kim Yong-hwan in the 7 shirt, and on comes Park Jong-hyun. They're trailing here. They need to score soon. This is good from Kim Song-gyu. Tries to get on the outside. Does so. Just gets tipped up by Budima. The Sri Lankan defence needs to give itself a good workout here. It's one of the areas of their play they could look to improve on. Han Dong-hoon goes quickly. Here's the new man Park. Clatters into Irishan Silva. They're working their way down the field here. That doesn't look too tidy. Kolkalad gets the hospital pass. Tries to make something out of it. Can't. Here they come now. Here's Janito Dilshan. Don't give him an inch, Korea. Jason Disanyake puts on a bit of goose. Oh, it's well picked up off the feet, Reza. Reza beats the final tackle and goes in for the Superman dive. It's a splashdown. They soaked up all the Korean pressure and they returned it with interest. 5th for the series for Reza.
Well, they're showing some beautiful skills in the wet weather, aren't they? Great fend off, great balance. How about the hands? He's made something out of nothing there, this bloke, Reza. That is an absolute beauty. That ball was on drop time and he's picked it up by his fingertips. And 2 more. Well, you just about shut the door on Korea now. Sri Lanka, at home in Sri Lankan conditions, going pretty well. Who would have thought?
South Korea there, they had possession for 1 to 2 minutes. Couldn't make anything out of it. Just seems like they're all going at it 100%. There's no real structure. And we've seen that throughout the series. They go from side to side again, looking for something to open up. Wasn't knocked on, says Rodden. It's untidy, but they get it back. On the ground is Son Min Ki. Yeah, and that's really good work there from Jason Disanyake. He's won the ball there. Korea looked like they were about to break out there. Halfway through the second half, the game is as good as one, you'd say. Kevin Dixon just nudges that towards the sideline. They'll have a line out about 24 metres out from the Korean line. They're not really contenders for top 2 spots in the series. But it doesn't mean they can't do well in the qualifiers or even here in front of their home crowd.
Well, I remember the last time we were here and it rained like this on the finals, and it was Seb Bryan from Hong Kong that turned out to be the superstar in the mud and the wet and the rain. Some pretty inspired choices to put him in the park. He made a massive amount of difference. He ended up being the player with that X factor. As they bring Dixon off and they start throwing on a few new bodies, he could be the secret, this little man, to a Tusker showing this weekend that could become almost historical.
Under all sorts of pressure there at the scrum half, and they're bobbling every single pass now almost. Coquillard gets a wide one. They're still willing to fling it around though. Nishan Pereira pulls out of that one at the last moment there. And here they go, flat out at the line. Spark goes in straight and upright, and it's a good tackle. It's a gang tackle. They win a penalty. They want to get on with things. Here's Jung Sol, Park Jong Hyun. And it's desperately difficult stuff down there. They're very wide again. Kang Min Jun now to Han Dong Hoon. Coquillard ranging out wide. Goes hard into Dansha Dayan, who gets low and collects Coquillard's kneecaps on the side of his temple. Jong Sol. They're going very low, aren't they, Sri Lanka? They're really getting around the knees. Again, no one really taking the line on, just washing it across the face. And eventually caught with the ball is Kang Min Jun. He gets absolutely barreled by Dansha Dayan. They win another penalty from Rodden. That's 3 in a row. Park Jong-hyun. Again, going low is Janito Dilshan. Can they break this white line? Kokolad. No one's running. Everyone's static. Another good spot tackle by Sri Lanka. Kang Min-jun gets it out. Here goes Moon Jin-ho, the Samoan Korean. Here's Jung Sol. Yet another penalty. There's going to be a card here shortly. And that's 4 in a row. And that's not very demure, is it?
No. No.
That's better from Korea then, Jed.
Look, they're using the ball a lot. They're trying to establish some go forward, but they just don't seem to be able to get the penetration at the line. And, oh dear, red card for the Tuskers. We'll have to go back and have another look at this, if we can. 2 red cards in 2 games. It might be the conditions that are causing some of the inaccuracies around here, but we've had 2 tournaments in dry conditions where, and then finally a try to Korea. Here we go.
Moon Jin-ho, the absolute sheer weight of possession in the last 2 minutes pays off. And what a moment for this young man. He's flown in all the way from Dunedin to go into camp with the Koreans in recent week. And he's got himself on the score sheet. He just has the presence of mind to look up and bag himself a meat pie, as they call them in Dunedin.
Well, there can't be long left on the clock. In fact, there is nothing left on the clock. And so 1-2 Sri Lanka, despite the last minute heroics from Korea. And they should be fairly happy with themselves, the Tuskers. That's a pretty complete performance, really. In dreadful conditions. Carried well, used the ball well. Showed a lot more intention on defence on their first half tackles. Perhaps gave them a little lift in confidence. So the next game coming out of the hutch. Here we go.
It's United Arab